trying to tee off with that left hand. Now he's back down.
He's hurt this time. He's very wobbly. I'm watching his legs. He's trying to get his legs back.
And that's it. It's over. Manny Pacquiao is back. His first knockout.
Manny Pacquiao, WBC welterweight champion of the world, introducing Mario El Azteca Barrios. He's legendary and only 8-division champion of the world, introducing the one and only Manny Pacquiao.
The sun was setting over the glimmering skyline of Las Vegas as anticipation surged like electricity through the city. July 13th, 2025 wasn't just another boxing night. It was a night carved out for greatness. The T-Mobile Arena stood like a glowing coliseum, buzzing with over 20,000 fans and millions more watching worldwide. The return of the legend, Manny "Pac-Man" Pacquiao, against the towering, powerful Mario El Azteca Barrios. The stakes were massive. Pride, legacy, and a generational collision between speed and youth, between legacy and ambition. Outside the venue, fans flooded the streets draped in Filipino flags, Mexican colors, and handmade signs. From the MGM Grand to Bellagio fountains, the entire strip throbbed with excitement. Inside the arena, the undercard had already produced some spectacular moments. A savage knockout in the second bout, a technical decision in the third. But the crowd's eyes and hearts were waiting for one thing, and that moment was drawing near. Backstage, cameras captured the last-minute preparations. In his dressing room, Pacquiao knelt silently in prayer, wrapped in the stillness that only a true warrior knows before battle. The camera zoomed in on his hands that had broken champions, crowned titles, and shaped history. His face was calm, aged yet fearless. Across the hallway, Mario Barrios was getting his hands taped, his eyes locked on the floor with fierce determination. Taller, younger, undefeated in his last few outings, Barrios was ready to step out of the shadows and try to throw in a living icon. Then came the ring walks, the moment every fan was waiting for. The lights dimmed. Fireworks lit up the Jumbotron. El Azteca Barrios came out first, wearing gold and red trunks, his music blaring with tribal drums and horns. He raised his gloves confidently, absorbing the mixed roar of cheers and boos. His team walked behind him in matching robes, eyes locked ahead. He climbed into the ring and stood in the corner, bouncing, stretching, glancing across the stadium filled with energy. And then everything went dark. A single spotlight hit the tunnel. The opening chords of Eye of the Tiger rang out, then transitioned into a live remix of Tagalog battle chants. The screen read simply, Pacquiao. The arena exploded. Manny Pacquiao appeared, calm, smiling, draped in his Philippine flag. Every punch he had ever thrown seemed to echo in that walk. Fans wept, chanted, sang. The legend was walking again, not just into the ring, but into history one more time. He touched his chest, pointed upward, and made his way toward the squared circle like a general marching into battle. As both fighters stood under the spotlight, ring announcer Michael Buffer took the mic. "Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble." The roar was deafening. Pacquiao and Barrios met in the center. No smiles, just pure focus. Gloves touched. The bell rang. Round one. From the opening bell, the contrast in styles was electric. Barrios used his height and reach, pumping a long jab, trying to keep the shorter Pacquiao at bay. But Manny was lightning, darting in with quick bursts, bouncing out before Barrios could respond. The first few rounds were a chess match. Barrios looked sharp, landing jabs, a few body shots. Pacquiao was studying, feinting, testing timing. By round 3, Pacquiao found his range. He connected with a sharp left that got the crowd roaring. Barrios smiled and nodded, but he felt it. Round 4 saw Pacquiao picking up the pace. That legendary flurry of combinations made its return. Jab, straight, hook to the body, uppercut. Barrios absorbed them well, but was clearly getting outworked. His corner yelled, "Slow him down." And in round 5, Barrios did just that with a vicious left to the liver. Pacquiao winced, the first real sign of pain, and Barrios capitalized. He pressed forward, landing a beautiful right uppercut that snapped Manny's head back. The momentum was shifting. By round 6, both fighters were bleeding. Pacquiao from a cut above the eye, Barrios from a swollen cheek. The war was heating up. Fans couldn't sit. Every punch drew roars. Twitter exploded with blow-by-blow reactions. The fight was trending across continents. The legend wasn't just surviving. He was battling with the ferocity of a man half his age. Round 7 opened with an intensity that lit up the entire arena. The T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas was trembling with roaring voices from every direction, and the fans knew they were witnessing something historic. Manny Pacquiao, the living legend at 46, and Mario Barrios, the rising machine at 30, had already delivered 6 rounds of blistering action. Now, with both fighters bleeding, breathing heavily, and digging into their reserves, it was no longer just about skill. It was about legacy. It was about heart. Barrios came out first, jabbing with purpose, not rushing but calculating. He knew he had the size, the reach, and the youth, but what he didn't count on was the storm coming his way. Pacquiao, with his classic in-and-out rhythm, exploded with 5-punch combination. Left, right, left the body, uppercut, and a finishing straight left that snapped Barrios' head back. The crowd exploded. Commentators were yelling, "Vintage Pacquiao." It was as if 2009 Manny had returned from a time machine. But Barrios was no pushover. He tightened up his guard and retaliated with a stiff right hand that caught Pacquiao clean on the cheek. The sound echoed. Pacquiao stumbled back 2 steps, but nodded in approval, like a gladiator who respects a good hit. They circled, feinting, trading. Each punch had purpose now. No wild swinging, just deadly precision. Midway through round 7, Pacquiao unleashed a flurry that had the crowd on their feet. Barrios was forced onto the ropes, absorbing the punishment with a high guard. But a sneaky left hook got through and caught him near the temple. That was the first time in the fight Barrios looked genuinely hurt. He backed off. Pacquiao pressed forward, but the bell came before he could finish what he started. The bell rang. End of round 7. Both men returned to their corners, breathing heavily, sweat dripping like rain off their backs. Freddie Roach leaned in close to Pacquiao. "He's slowing down, Manny. You got him. Just don't give him the distance." On the other side, Barrios' corner was icing his swelling eye, yelling, "Stick to the jab. He's baiting you. Don't brawl with him." Round 8 was a war zone. It started slower, the calm before the storm, but 2 minutes in, the gloves started flying. Pacquiao slipped inside and connected a right hook to the ribs. Barrios grunted and fired back with a looping right hand. It clipped Pacquiao's temple. The legend staggered. The entire crowd held their breath. Pacquiao recovered, but it was clear Barrios had found his power shot. From there, it was back and forth. Barrios landed another brutal right uppercut. Pacquiao countered with a blistering left straight. It was savage, technical, and beautiful all at once. The fighters were giving their souls in that ring. The last 30 seconds of round 8 was an exchange of fury, fists flying at lightning speed. The crowd chanted, "Manny, Manny," but Barrios had his own group roaring, "Vamos, Mario." Round 9 was quieter. Both men were clearly tired. Pacquiao was bleeding from a small cut above his right eye, and Barrios' left cheek had ballooned. Barrios started using more body shots, slowing Pacquiao down. A nasty liver shot made Pacquiao grimace for the first time. But Pacquiao answered with 2 quick combinations, one upstairs and one down, dancing just out of range like the master he is. Barrios used his reach better in this round, popping the jab and moving. Pacquiao was chasing. That's when Barrios snapped off a crushing overhand right. It landed flush. The arena gasped. Pacquiao staggered backward, caught himself on the ropes. The referee moved in close, but Pacquiao waved him off. He was still in it, still dangerous. Then came round 10. This was when everything changed. Pacquiao knew he had to make a statement. He wasn't just here for a paycheck. He was fighting for legacy, pride, the Filipino people, and his own warrior soul. He exploded out of his corner like it was round 1. A savage hook to the body, a left upstairs, another right hook. Barrios had no time to breathe. Then boom! A left hand landed square on Barrios' jaw. The crowd erupted. Barrios wobbled. The crowd rose to their feet. Pacquiao pounced like a tiger sensing the kill. Left, right, left. Barrios fell back into the ropes. The ref was watching closely. Pacquiao continued the barrage. 3, 4, 5 unanswered shots. Barrios clinched. He was smart. He held on for dear life. The ref separated them. Barrios backed away, trying to reset. But Pacquiao was relentless. A feint to the body, and then a monstrous uppercut that lifted Barrios' head back like a bobblehead. Barrios looked glassy-eyed. The bell saved him. Barely. In the corner, Barrios' trainer was pleading, "You need to survive. Don't stand still. Move. He's too fast." Round 11 started like a chess match. Barrios was on his bicycle, circling, jabbing, trying to buy time. But Pacquiao smelled blood. Every punch he threw now had murderous intent. He dug to the body, mixing speeds, disrupting rhythm. Barrios started to recover mid-round and managed to land a solid 1-2. But it wasn't enough to keep Pacquiao off. At one point, Pacquiao faked a jab and leapt in a lightning-fast left hook. It cracked Barrios hard. His knees buckled. The commentators screamed, "He's hurt! He's hurt!" But Barrios somehow stayed up, nodding defiantly. Final minute of round 11, Pacquiao cornered him. Barrios shelled up. A brutal six-punch combo rained down. The crowd lost their minds. Barrios was trapped, his face red, sweat and blood spraying with every blow. Somehow again the bell saved him. The crowd stood, clapping, chanting. Nobody was sitting now. Two warriors had delivered an unforgettable war. Both men touched gloves. Barrios came out aggressively, showing that he still had fight in him. He landed a nice jab cross combo. Pacquiao nodded. Then he charged. Left hook to the ribs, right uppercut, then a straight left that nearly took Barrios off his feet. Barrios fired back. Right hook to the body, left upstairs. Pacquiao ducked under, landed a right, then a left. Barrios swung wild, missed. Pacquiao countered with a clean hook. For 2 minutes, it was an even exchange, both men digging deep into reserves they didn't know they had. Each punch now was about honor. They weren't fighting to win. They were fighting not to break. Pacquiao pushed forward, throwing nonstop. Barrios covered, then exploded with one last heroic uppercut. It landed. Pacquiao took it and came back with a left-right left. The place shook. 10 seconds. They stood toe-to-toe in the center of the ring, throwing until the bell. Ding, ding, ding. The bell rang. It was over. The crowd roared in standing ovation. Both fighters raised their hands. Pacquiao, bloodied and bruised, smiled and bowed at every corner. Barrios, exhausted and battered, raised his glove and nodded in respect. As they waited for the judges' scorecards, the tension was unbearable. The fight was ruled a draw. Both corners erupted, some in disbelief, some in acceptance. Fans were divided. Half were yelling robbery. Half were saying it was fair. Twitter exploded. Hashtag Pacquiao Barrios draw was trending worldwide within minutes. Inside the ring, Barrios and Pacquiao hugged. "You're a warrior," Manny whispered. Barrios replied, "It was an honor, champ." The commentators called it one of the greatest fights of the decade. Promoters were already talking about a rematch. The post-fight interview had Pacquiao sing, "I felt I did enough to win, but that's boxing. He's a strong, young man.